Welcome to WEWIN News. These aircraft incidents demonstrate the unpredictable nature of the aviation industry, reminding us of the importance of safety and preparedness in the face of adversity. Let's go!
Oh my gosh! Oh, look at that! Whoa!
July 18, 2025, Delta Airlines flight DL446 experienced a left engine fire shortly after takeoff from Los Angeles International Airport, landing safely after about 40 minutes of flight. Emergency landing of Antonov Antwerp aircraft on 26 March 2025 suffered an emergency landing at Novi Urengoy Airport, Siberia, after the front wheel failed. R-44 helicopter crash hits 1,000-foot Houston transmission tower on October 20, 2024. An American Airlines plane sits on the runway with flames and black smoke billowing from one of the engines on the right wing.
And that lasts.
A King Air C90 crashed and burst into flames on the runway, creating two large columns of smoke and multiple flames at Campo de Marte Airport in São Paulo, Brazil.
Minha nossa, meu Deus do céu. Não está autorizada a entrada de ninguém.
A US Boeing 747 cargo plane en route to Dubai crashed shortly after takeoff at the largest US base in Afghanistan. A Kitfox Speedster Classic Y aircraft made an emergency landing in Jennings, Louisiana during the Stearman Fly event. Scottsdale Airport, small plane experienced problems in the air and began to roll over the plane, flipped over, hit the runway and slid a long way before flipping over and coming to a stop. Two planes took off from the runway. One caught fire and exploded shortly after takeoff. The explosion and fire created a large cloud of smoke. Mi-17 helicopter crash. The helicopter suffered significant damage to the tail section and rotor blades. Pilots must exercise extreme caution and strictly follow landing procedures to ensure safety. A Pakistan Air Force F-16 military aircraft spun and plummeted to the ground in Shankar Parian near Islamabad, sending up a huge plume of black smoke, suggesting the plane exploded upon impact. The Beech 60 was destroyed when it collided with terrain during an emergency landing at Northern Colorado Regional Airport, Loveland, Colorado. Plane crash at airshow in Klerksdorp, South Africa. Near Wonderboom, Pretoria, South Africa. The plane was flying at low altitude when a loud bang was heard from the left engine. Smoke and fire started coming out of the engine. The left wing of the plane was damaged. Debris of the plane fell to the ground as the plane was trying to land. During the flight, the helicopter lost control, causing it to spin in the air, plummet into the lake below, and explode upon hitting the water. A minor technical problem could have had catastrophic consequences. Aeromarine Merlin light aircraft loses engine power at South Lakeland Airport. At the Addison, Texas airport, the plane crashed shortly after takeoff and could not fly higher than the treetops before crashing into a hangar, causing the plane to burst into flames. The helicopter was attempting to take off but lost control suddenly to the left. The main rotor hit the ground, creating a large cloud of dust. The helicopter flipped sideways. UH-1H helicopter crash. The helicopter fell straight to the ground. The helicopter's wreckage and some small debris were scattered on the ground. The loss of balance and spinning in the air showed that there may have been a serious technical failure. Shocking footage of biplane crash at Travis Airshow.
Everybody stand still, stay right where you are, do not move, do not move.
A medical helicopter crashed during landing. After landing, the helicopter tilted to one side and then flipped over. The plane crashed, creating smoke and debris that was flipped over and lying on the ground near a watery area. Berlin police helicopter crash. A second helicopter flew too close to the one that had landed, then lost control and crashed, creating a large explosion and black smoke. The dangers of flying vehicles operating in close proximity to each other. Upon landing, the helicopter flipped over and crashed into the sea, partially submerged and floating in the sea. crash landing at an Army Reserve base in California caused significant damage to a reconnaissance aircraft. The Druve helicopter lost balance, spun, and eventually crashed to the ground, causing a loud crash. The loss of balance and crash of the aircraft immediately after takeoff suggests that there may have been a serious technical failure. The plane lost control, tipped over, and one of the propellers hit the ground. The tail broke off and a fire broke out. The helicopter appeared to lose control and rapidly descended, landing on a grassy area near a dirt road, flipping over and breaking its rotor. A Piper Warrior 3 had a loss of engine power 3 minutes after takeoff from Bankstown Airport in Australia on November 19, 2022. A small propeller plane collided with such force that it damaged the plane's propeller and caused damage to the helicopter. Two helicopters flying in the air collided with each other and crashed down below. A Robinson R-22 helicopter was significantly damaged in a mid-air collision on the runway at Clearwater Airport. The aircraft flipped upside down and skidded onto the canopy. During the flight, the plane suddenly lost balance, wobbled, and fell to the ground. After crashing, the plane was severely damaged and smoked. The helicopter was flying near a large crane when the helicopter's rotor blades hit one of the crane's cables, causing the aircraft to spin out of control. A white passenger plane is partially submerged in the water, with the front part on fire and creating a huge column of black smoke. Flogger 1 crashed in the town of Van Buren, Michigan during the Thunder over Michigan air show.
They ejected.
6 people on board a helicopter miraculously survived after it spun out of control and crashed into a rooftop in Medellin, Colombia. On November 23, 2011, the helicopter was lifting a 21 meters tower for the telecom Christmas tree, and its rotor clipped a cable. A helicopter got into trouble in Pompano Beach, Florida on August 28, 2023.
Hey, tell them to come over here. That shit took you up.
O helicóptero caiu lá, né?
All aboard survive. The helicopter was on a training mission when it crashed in Baquea, just north of Amman, near a large Palestinian refugee camp.
يا ساتر يا ساتر يا ساتر يا رب.
Fire brigade helicopter crashed yesterday in northeastern Spain. There were 2 pilots on board. They were all right. A plane crashed into a Morena home on October 8, 2024. You can see the pilot walking away. A military transport helicopter operated by the Federal Security Service of Russia collided with a lighting mast on July 27, 2023.
Oh my God!
That was definitely a pucker moment for the pilot. Six people on board a helicopter miraculously survived after it spun out of control.
Wow, look at this. And look at the fireman, how brave he is to have to be so close to it.
On November 18, 2015, a helicopter spun out of control and crashed at McClellan-Palomar Airport in Carlsbad.
Mas vai cair?
Caiu!
On August 16, 2015 in Russia, the pilot was replaced by another pilot, apparently to land the plane better. They later landed it in a drainage ditch. Two people survived the incident of a single-engine plane in the San Bernardino Mountains.
Alhamdulillah wa shukrullah. Vou bater na água. Não atira não. Desce um aí que eu vou pegar os outros lá.
Miraculous escape from 360 turns before setting down outside the helipad. The Lockheed XV-4 Hummingbird was a US Army project to demonstrate the feasibility of using vertical takeoff and landing for a surveillance aircraft, carrying target acquisition and sensory equipment. It was designed and built by the Lockheed Corporation in the 1960s. Both prototype aircraft were destroyed in accidents. Very strong winds had taken the skies October 2020 around Spain, especially in Barcelona. This Ruby Star 747 that was arriving very high during the approach was fighting a heavy crosswind at that moment. The Jumbo floated a lot over the runway and had a wind shear that almost made the right wing completely. The crew immediately corrected the aircraft attitude and made a safe go around to try to land again later. During the intense and unpredictable weather conditions of the 2013 Kebnekaise wave camp, the skilled glider pilot executed a challenging landing amidst a fierce storm. A shocking moment happened as a helicopter flew just inches above the heads of a Ukrainian infantryman, skimming the ground with astonishing precision. In July 2010, a CF-18 crashed in Alberta, Canada. Sole crew survives. On an airshow practice at low altitude, the jet had engine issues. Pilot Captain Brian Buse ejected at 150 feet, and the plane was destroyed. Inquiry pointed to a mechanical issue. On July 15, 2023, a Cathay Pacific Airbus A350 experienced a hard landing at London's Heathrow Airport, as strong gusting winds tested both the aircraft's stability and the pilot's skill during final approach, resulting in a dramatic touchdown. A Robinson R-44 helicopter was forced to make an emergency landing on the rooftop of a building in Guatemala City on June 12, 2025. Fortunately, reports confirm that no one sustained any injuries. Thankfully, the pilot emerged uninjured, and bystanders later confirmed that nobody was hurt. The North American XB-70 was an ambitious aircraft, engineered to cruise at speeds exceeding Mach 3 while soaring at altitudes above 70,000 feet. As the aircraft comes to a halt, the fire intensifies, prompting a rapid emergency response, with fire crews racing to the scene and ultimately managing to extinguish the blaze before it could cause more severe damage. On this high-octane Bollywood set, director Ali Abbas Zafar went all in, shooting a real scene using an actual Chinook helicopter, a first in Indian cinema. On April 2, 2010, during an airshow at the federal airport of Guarujá in Lagos, Santa Catarina, Brazil, a tragic accident struck Smoke Squadron, the Brazilian Air Force's famed aerobatic team. The pilot failed to recover and collided with the ground next to the runway, exploding immediately on impact. Approximately 10 spectators witnessed the accident, but fortunately none were injured. Following a harrowing near-miss incident that left no time for hesitation, the pilot expertly deployed the ballistic parachute system, allowing the aircraft to descend safely and minimizing potential damage or injury.
C'est la plantation qui est bien amortie.
Ah ouais, mais les filets l'ont bien aidé.
On June 8, 1989, at the Paris Air Show, Soviet test pilot was performing a dramatic low-speed, high-angle pass in his MiG-29 when a bird strike on the starboard engine triggered a sudden engine surge and fire. Attempting to regain stability, he throttled up the remaining engine, but at only 180 kilometers per hour, its asymmetric thrust caused a steep, unrecoverable dive. The pilot steered the plummeting jet away from the crowd, waited until just 2.5 seconds before impact, then ejected, landing only about 30 meters from the raging fireball. Watch as this MV-22 Osprey makes a dramatic landing right in the heart of downtown Nashville, where local police had preemptively shut down surrounding roads and erected safety barriers to secure the landing zone. The Hawker Hunter T-7 crashed during a low-altitude loop maneuver at the Shoreham Air Show on 22 August 2015, plummeting onto the adjacent A27 road and exploding into a fireball.
Whoa! Oh no!
The aircraft entered the bent loop too low and too slow, around 200 feet at entry instead of the 500 FT minimum, and never reached sufficient height to complete the maneuver.
Humidity in the atmosphere. For the first time we've seen some cloud forming off the wings. Ooh.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh.
In December 2012, the anticipated takeoff of an Air France Airbus A340 from Princess Juliana International Airport was captured from the world-famous Maho Beach, where beachgoers gathered to witness the majestic aircraft roar. During landing, the pilot was unable to stop the aircraft and ended up leaving the runway and falling into a ravine. Three passengers and a pilot were unharmed in an accident involving an executive jet in Santa Rosa, Brazil on December 14, 2021. In June 2019, Turkey executed a bold marine tourism project by submerging a retired Airbus A330 in the Gulf of Saros off Ibrise port in northwestern Turkey to create a captivating artificial reef and scuba diving attraction. The aircraft, built in 1995 and decommissioned in 2018, was transported from Antalya to Kasan and then submerged nearly a mile from the coast at a depth of approximately 98 feet. Following its scuttling on June 14, 2019, the site welcomed its first divers on June 15. This technique, often used by military forces, extends mission range and allows helicopters to stay airborne longer without landing. It's a delicate operation requiring incredible precision from both pilots and crew. From the onboard view, the Norwegian C-130J Super Hercules made an unprecedented landing on a public road in Sweden. A passenger on a Tu-204 plane captured a dramatic video of the moment the plane's engine caught fire. The fire started in the engine, sending passengers into a state of panic. Watch a typhoon lift a parked Boeing 747 jet off the ground in Taiwan. In 2024, the Russian Ministry of Defense released footage showing a joint air patrol with China that was conducted off the coast of the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. The helicopter was compelled to make an emergency landing in Uttarakhand, India on June 8, 2025. The pilot showed excellent judgment by safely landing the helicopter on a highway, avoiding any injuries or major damage. Although the descent occurred in difficult hilly terrain, all passengers and crew were confirmed safe. small plane was forced to make a tense and carefully managed emergency landing after the nose gear failed to deploy, the pilot's impressive skill and calmness by safely bringing the aircraft down. During a routine post-flight procedure involving blade fold and wing stow operations on the MV-22 Osprey, a failure occurred in the shaft-driven compressor system, a critical component responsible for supplying pneumatic power to various onboard systems. Welcome to this exciting footage look at a high-power engine run-up of the Airbus A350. June 8, 1983, Reeve Aleutian Airways Flight 8, an L-188 Electra made an emergency landing in Alaska, all 15 aboard unhurt. On level flight, the propeller broke free from the engine and struck the fuselage, damaging the controls. Inquiry could not determine reasons for the failure. Approximately 30 minutes into the flight, while cruising at 25,000 feet, the crew noticed an unusual vibration. As the flight engineer left the cockpit to inspect the engines, the vibration intensified. Upon returning to the cabin, the flight attendant observed the outboard engine on the right wing detach and spin beneath the fuselage. The finish line is here. Don't forget to give us a like button and share your road encounters in the comments. And don't miss the video on the right side of the screen. See you soon.